I know that time and space as we know of it are illusions. I understand that. But for a lot of the people listening, they may never have even heard that before. So I want you to talk about like how much like this is a 3,000 year, at least a 3,000 year legacy that women have of lack. So how long does it have to take? Is it going to take 3,000 years? Like how fast could it possibly shift? I think that's a good question to, get people kind of exploring what's possible.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, and what we sense is underneath the question is simultaneously recognizing that, uh, let's say someone has a target. Like for a long time, Danielle wanted to own her home free and clear. Like that was a target that she had for a while. And yet, let's say that was a 1 to 3 year target at the time. What she began to recognize was that what was happening, what she was up to in the now moment and in the next 90 days, in the next 6 months, and that it wasn't lined up. If we just use the archery and pulling back the bow and that lining up to the center of that target of 1 to 3 years, the the now, the next week, the 2 weeks from now, as you experience linear time, was not lined up with that 1 to 3 years. So, if the target, the larger vision, is that there is more life and abundance for all, including men, women, every being on the planet Earth and beyond. If that's the target, then it's a little bit like how quick is someone choosing to get there? Because one of the beautiful books of The Wrinkle of Time is also that idea. Well, rather it being a line, it can be bent over time, and there can be just this shorter path. So
Tesseract, my favorite part of that book. Yes, I love that. Yes.
yeah, so the tesseract. And so, what we would really highlight there, and we know that's a bigger question, and we're not going to say it's this amount of time or that amount of time, because actually it is a little bit more like, let's say someone's doing a triathlon, and there's a general range for a triathlon to happen within, and yet there's going to be a range within that range. And some will actually reach the target earlier than others. And we know you're speaking about the collective consciousness and the larger, like everyone, and yet some are going to get there faster than others. And the main thing that we would bring forward, and then we would ask you that similar question as you spoke about time and space, and what does time and space have to do with this, is that it can kind of take as long as you're choosing for it to take. And unless you're focused on the now, that and connecting that bookends, it's going to take a lot longer. So, was that clear what we were expressing in terms
So
of?
help me understand this. So I'm visualizing the tesseract and I'm going to describe it for people who are listening and not watching. So you have a beginning point and an end point. And what they show, what L'Engle shows in the book is the ant walking across basically a tightrope between the 2 points. And that instead you can bring the 2 points together and the ant can simply walk from point A to point B with no distance between. That is what she describes as the tesseract in the book.